Hello, hello, and good morning. On today's show, I'm going to talk about everything, everywhere, all at once. Mike says every single vote that everyone submits for every cover combat this week is going to be excruciating. And we haven't forgot about McFarlane, but Moon Knight might just be more amazing. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. I, of course, am your fourth or fifth favorite podcasting host, Kevin. And we've got a full staff today. Hallelujah. You want to say hello, Patrick?
Good morning, everyone.
And then better late than never, Michael.
Hey, I'm lucky to be here.
Good morning. So yeah, we're running late. We had some technical difficulties, but when we have a week without any technical difficulties, that's what's going to feel strange, right?
Yeah. We'll actually be on time. We were going to be on time today.
We were so close. Yeah.
On time.
But if it isn't one of us having problems, it's another. That's why it kind of happens on the regular. But what can you do? We just got to roll with it. And then, of course, we have the amazing, wonderful, my sister, Karen, in the background helping us, make the show even cooler. Do you want to make some weird noise to signify you're here? Karen, go. That was smooth. Amazing. Okay. I didn't even mention this to you, Mike, which I guess I should have in the pregame. But guess what?
We have not heard from our winner.
Dave, the movie nerd. Yeah. Boo is right, Karen. So we need to spin again, essentially. I mean, is that something that you can handle, or is that not good for you, Mike?
Yeah, it's
okay, so
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, since we're already having problems, let's not try to make things worse. We'll just we'll spin again next week. Mm-hmm. And Dave essentially will get an extra grace period week here. Maybe he'll show up in the next week and he'll get it. But if he doesn't again, then we need to be ready to spin it again next week. And then I'm just saying this now, for the next one, we need to have maybe I'll change it from the Scruffles to some other corny name that will just be comment or
right,
something that shows that we've had some interaction with each other, as opposed to, I feel like maybe the first one and now Dave were just some random mm-hmm. And then they essentially got off of the internet or whatever. I don't know, dropped off the face of Instagram, but anyway, so there's that. So then let's get into the most exciting part that has proven to increase our views factually now. Mike, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's get going.
I was almost ready.
Very nice. Hey, I don't know if I've ever asked you guys this before. What battle of the intro to Cover Combat is your favorite? What violent action takes place in the intro do you appreciate the most?
The one that always stands out to me is the drone.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Oh man, we're all three in agreement actually too. Yeah, I love that. I'm glad, that's because it's kind of at the tail end and it only happens for a split second. And then of course we don't get the end result. So it's kind of
Maybe that's why I only see that part the most, because I'm usually doing something and then I look up right at the end.
okay. All right. What do you got?
I am. Oops, I was ready. I had an idea right at as you started the intro.
Okay.
So Cover Combat 4, I wanted to kind of go over some of the differences.
Okay.
Let me see. Where am I here? I thought I had written it up. So basically what we did last week, if you didn't see last week's show, shame on you. Anyway, we randomly, the six of us all submitted 5 artists. And from those 30 artists, we spun the wheel and each of us were randomly assigned one of those artists. And then at the last minute, I had a crazy idea to spin the wheel again, and that artist would be assigned to everybody for one cover. So everybody submitted 7 covers of their assigned artist, and then one cover from the bonus spin. The bonus spin was Creighton Kane.
Clayton Crane, you mean?
Creighton Crane. So
yeah.
The winning artists were Todd McFarlane, Mike Zeck, Jim Lee, Bill Sienkiewicz, John Buscema, and Francisco Matina. And the only people that know, nobody knows who was assigned what artist.
You know all of them.
I
except
know all of them.
Everybody else only knows, of course, themselves. Yeah. Right.
So let's get started with the first round of matchups. This is round 1.1. Next week will be 1.2. And then after that, all of the covers will have competed. And
that'll be round 2 then. Got it.
Yeah, round 2. Okay, so the first matchup we have, and these are randomly assigned, Incredible Hulk 385 versus Savage She-Hulk #1.
Oh man, gosh, dag it. That's awesome.
Yep. So right out of the gate, you're like, this was really hard for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. For anybody who hasn't been paying attention all along, Todd McFarlane's my favorite artist. But obviously I'd say that She-Hulk is, I was going to say arguably, but I think it's definitely more of a classic cover. So yeah, this is a good matchup right out of the gate. Got it. Yeah.
Right. When I call these out for people that don't have images in front of them, what's going on here?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For the podcasters, Mike.
I don't understand the question.
We have
people that can't see this. Say what?
Hulk 345 by Todd McFarlane.
Okay, I got you. And then Savage She-Hulk #1 by John Buscema. So the Incredible Hulk is the cover where he's busting through the trade dress, which I always loved. And then when you look at the Savage She-Hulk, it's just a great background, a really great pose.
Yeah, it's awesome. Both of them. Yeah.
So, all right. Next up, we have The Defenders #125 by Bill Sienkiewicz versus War of the Bounty Hunters #1 by Clayton Crane.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Now this Sienkiewicz cover is, I think this one stands out from a lot of his other stuff because he's got a very distinct style, and for fans of his, they can see it in here, but this one's just a little more accessible to people that don't like his kind of left of center style.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, and more conflict of interest for for me. Dadgummit. Okay.
And then the War of the Bounty Hunters. Just, and actually, I think this is a a really clean version of Clayton Crane's stuff. His
Yeah.
stuff, he's most notably, I think he does Venom and Carnage type of things, and that's just craziness all over the page.
Yeah, I definitely did not know that was Clayton Crane. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so
Great.
now we have our first tidbit of controversy here,
What?
because in that New Defenders cover right away, I recognized Bill Sienkiewicz. He did the finishes, like the painting and the inking. That's why it doesn't look all, 100% Bill Sienkiewicz. It's a Carl Potts penciling that cover.
Ah.
And then Bill Sienkiewicz.
You know,
That's gonna be a thing probably. So we'll have to watch out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was thinking that with some of the covers I was having to pick because I said I don't, we didn't establish any rules as to how much of the artist you picked needed to be on it. Yeah. Mhm.
I guess if it's a collaboration, it should be allowed.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And it makes sense that if those are Carl Potts' pencils, it makes sense that it looks the way it does.
Right.
But you can still see what
sure.
Bill had brought to it. So, and I forgot, I did think of that, but then I forgot all about it until you just brought it up now. So it's, I ultimately, since we're already this far into it, I think as long as they worked on the cover.
Yeah, I agree.
We're good. All right, here we go. The next matchup. We have Batman One Bad Day, Bane #1 by Jim Lee versus The Punisher #4 by Mike Zeck.
Okay, your predictions are spot on so far as I'm concerned, Mike. These are pretty agonizing, every single one so far. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This one, I love those Punisher covers.
Yeah, me too.
They're classic Mike Zeck covers.
Yeah.
I hate doing this on the first round, but as I was, you got to study these. You got to find reasons to not vote for one.
Right. So you're going to give us one?
My reason for not, well, I'm not going to, I guess I just gave away what I voted for. I can't stand his neck on the Punisher because of the angle and the shadows. It looks like his neck is elongated.
Yeah, he looks like an elongated man a little bit.
When you really look at it, you can see where the break is in his shoulder and neck on the far side there. But just quickly looking at it.
Yeah.
It almost looks like he has a strap across his back, and that kind of adds to the confusion. It makes it look like it's his neck. Yeah.
We did have Mike Zeck watching. He officially just left the room.
Yep. Sorry, Mike.
All right. But yeah, still great. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Here we go. Next up. Oh, geez. You guys are going to hate this matchup.
Okay.
Captain America 332 by Mike Zeck versus the Avengers 57, John Buscema.
Well, I love this matchup because, as I said before, I don't like that Captain America cover. So this is an easy one for me.
Oh,
this is not so easy for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a classic Avengers cover there. That's awesome.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one's
obviously I'm a big Cap fan more than Vision, but yeah, I think that Vision, the Avengers cover is better. So yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Boy, I'm so glad we were stuck so much in the modern era.
Yeah.
The majority of cover combat, except for the first round, that I'm glad to see some of these classic covers popping up like this.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with the artists that we were assigned, it was great to get the old school artists in there.
I think we all made the right call to, not well. Did Alex Ross didn't even make it, and then Arger made it, but then he didn't get selected. So so we kind of left all those, new wave digital, artists out, I guess, right?
Not all of them. Francisco Mattina made the list.
Well, yeah, Mattina, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But next up, we have Spawn 318 by Todd McFarlane versus X-Men number 11 by Jim Lee. And that's a classic X-Men cover.
Yeah, it is.
Man, these are so good. Yeah, this man. Every vote's going to be excruciating for me. I literally have not decided on one vote yet. They're all going to take some thinking.
Yeah. It was fun putting all these together, and this is a good matchup. You know, you've got McFarlane's from the same era as Jim Lee, but they've I was going to say they've kind of evolved together, but this is old Jim Lee, so
yeah.
All right, next up we have Hulk 340 by Todd McFarlane versus Elektra Black, White, and Blood number 1 by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Did we decide that you weren't allowed to use old covers, or what was the rule we decided on that? If it was in another cover combat, if you were aware that it was in it, you couldn't use it, but if you weren't aware, you could use it, something like that. Is that what we decided?
No, I think for this one it was just as long as it wasn't one of the winners, and
okay. Well, good then. Okay, good. Okay. All right, Johnny's gonna be happy. I'm happy too. Johnny's gonna be happy. I'm happy too. All the other big time, Incredible Hulk 340 fans are gonna be happy. It's got another shot at being a champion. Got it.
Yep.
Which that Elektra cover is ridiculous.
Yep. All right, next up. Where's my place here? We've got Venom 155 by Francisco Mattina versus Lost Universe number 2 by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Boy, I don't think I've ever even seen that Lost Universe cover.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen either one ever. Oh, wow.
Yeah, awesome. I guess I might be on the same page there
too. I'm
familiar
awesome with the Lost Universe books, but I never paid them any mind.
What is that? What publisher's that?
I can't remember.
Techno Comics.
Yeah. It's from the 90s. I think it's Gene Roddenberry. I guess when did he pass away though? I don't know if this is based on other works of his or if he had anything to do with.
Yeah, I'm not sure
with this.
I'm gonna be looking for those. That's awesome.
Yeah. It'd be terrible if only that issue was done by Bill Sienkiewicz and all the other ones were not as good.
Well, I like the whole thing. Not only the art of this cover, but the Gene Roddenberry. I'm a Gene Roddenberry fan. And Lost Universe. I'm assuming it's sci-fi kind of fantasy stuff. Which, yeah.
But that Venom cover is pretty different. It's it's not all slick and shiny and greasy like his.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. These are both kind of flat, kind of matte look.
All right, next up, this one's pretty cool. We've got Modern Warfare 2 number 1 by Jim Lee versus Conan 96 by John Buscema.
Wow.
I'd never seen that never heard of that series from Wildstorm.
Me neither.
People are digging up some deep cuts here. I'm surprised.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, I like seeing covers that we haven't seen before.
I think I might have my first pick of the round though.
Yeah, those are great. Very distinct differences there, though.
All right. Karen's chiming in saying she used to have that Conan. So did I. That's why I'm like that Modern Warfare cover is pretty cool. But yeah, I love that Conan cover. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Next up, we got great different styles here. Spawn 284 by Francisco Mattina versus Captain America 286 by Mike Zeck.
My gosh, I love those Deathlock Captain America covers.
Yeah.
This is no contest for
Yeah.
We've definitely got Pat's first pick of the round. Got it.
Yeah, that yeah, I just there's so much going on in that Captain America. It's so good. That's one that I wish that I actually had. I don't have that issue.
That Spawn is pretty awesome though, too.
It
Yeah.
is.
But here we go again. I hate when I have one of my top. I mean, I think this is like the third or fourth one in this first round that I've got two of my top 5 favorite characters competing against each other. Dadgummit.
Yep. It's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Marvel Age number 90 by Todd McFarlane versus G.I. Joe 40, Mike Zeck.
Man, again, Mike Zeck, so many awesome G.I. Joe covers.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's recently, revived ever since we met him and stuff, and I got some, get him to sign some of my books. Yeah, he's revived my want for classic G.I. Joe, definitely.
Yeah, I mean his Captain America books, his G.I. Joe books, just great runs. And then just classic Todd McFarlane and Spider-Man. I mean, it's
great.
No matter how many times he does the same similar thing, each one of them is you just love looking at it.
Yep.
All right. Next up, oh boy. We've got What If number 47 by Bill Sienkiewicz versus Wonder Woman 759 by Jim Lee. These Jim Lee covers it's great because they're not the, I mean, besides that X-Men book, kind of a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Not the typical Jim Lee go-to classic books. Kind of like Patrick said, some deep dives here. And then
I've never seen that What If either.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Yep. Yeah, Marcus was looking at these and he said, "Dad, I want that book."
Yeah, I've never been a big Sienkiewicz guy. Didn't we meet him in Baltimore too?
No. That'd be awesome if we did, but nope. All right. Last up, this is it for the week. Silver Surfer number 1 by John Buscema versus World's Finest number 5 by Francisco Mattina. Worlds apart here.
Yeah, this is the first extreme contrast, I think. Yeah, this is I can't wait to see who's that's gonna be a whole new thing I can't wait for too. Who's picking who,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is the one. It's like you've got the folks that really like the new digital painted style compared to older eyes like ours that really love the pen and paper and ink and all that.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all. The first round of matchups.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna survive not letting the cat out of the bag. I can resist letting the cat out of the bag for who I have, but I'm already having such a hard time letting the cat out of the bag of who I don't have, which then obviously by deduction we could figure out who I have. But
it's hard for me to tell if you're giving away too much because I already know.
Yeah. I'm trying. It kind of makes me shut up, which obviously I don't like doing either. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, it's we vote for the covers, not who everybody is, so it doesn't matter really. It's kind of fun for you guys, I guess. If it's fun for you guys, then I'm cool with it. If it's not fun for you guys, then
And I want to say something so bad I can't say it though. Like I said, it was it'll just reveal who I don't have. It'll just reveal one artist I don't have. Can I say it, please? Please.
I don't care.
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
It's driving me nuts. Whoever's got Francisco Matina, how are they going to pick that freaking cover with Matina's repertoire? He's like so ridiculous. So many super uber ridiculous covers. How are you going to pick a cover where you got
that one?
2/3 of the book is almost nothing, and then you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not the worst cover ever in my opinion, but that's just shocking to me that would be one of Matina's choices. That's just
Well, this is interesting. I thought along these same lines. It's interesting. If you have a favorite artist, even if say you picked the artist to submit as one of your 5 artists to put on the board, you know, it's like, and then you see somebody else picking covers from that artist. That's tough.
Yeah, that's true too. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
Like someone whoever has Matina might not even be a Matina fan. Possibly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I couldn't help but say that. Yeah.
Right.
Just...
I was getting ready to take it down. It looks like a fast cover.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, it's not horrible. It's just not a lot going on there, and it's 2/3 of almost nothing. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's my thing.
Yep.
But anyway, watch it win everything. Shows what I if it becomes the cover come at 4 champ, I'm gonna look like a real
that one and the Punisher are gonna win because
of your neck comment. Yeah. They'll at least make it to the finals. But anyway, we've said it once, we've said it a million times. So exciting, but so short-lived, it makes you sad.
Yeah.
Can we just go on to round 1.2?
I have the matchups ready. I don't have the graphic matchups ready though.
Well, yeah, actually, that's an interesting question because obviously this time you had a short period of time between when we revealed to when we were planning on round 1, but usually you have more time. Is there any reason we wouldn't want to do round 1.1 and round 1.2 the same show because they can't compete against each other, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can just do all the reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't do it today. Like I said, I have.
No, I know. I'm talking about for the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be a lot of votes for the common folk. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. They need more.
You get that many, you're like, yeah, okay, that's that one, instead of taking your time a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's a good point, Pat. Good point.
So yeah,
hey, Kirk's in the house. Good morning, Kirk.
What's up, Kirk?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that too. Kirk is still setting up, so he couldn't make the video game segment again this week, but we're looking pretty optimistic for next week. So hopefully we can see Kirk do a video game segment next week. So we'll see. I'll talk to him more about it this week, of course.
Yep.
Did a lot of chatting with him this week during whatnot, but anyway.
Oh,
all right. So moving on. Did anyone else have any? Okay.
Yeah, I have one more thing. It's only because I have a sticky note here. How do planets entertain themselves?
How do planets entertain themselves?
Yeah.
I don't know. How?
Comic books.
Comic books?
Comic books.
Comic books. That's pretty clever. Karen? Nothing?
Oh, come on.
I was either, and Karen, we're not trying to lead the witness on this. If you don't think it's funny, you could have played crickets there. It's completely up to you. Crickets or laughter, one or the other. Yeah. Or I guess if you're indifferent.
It was funny.
She's doubling down to state that she didn't just choose laughing because she didn't think about crickets. Got it. Or if you're indifferent, you could use clap. Yeah, I do, Kirk. Yeah, I'm thinking about that all the time too. I'm the outlier with the beards on this show, and I'm also the outlier with hair on this show. So
yeah,
thanks.
If I had the choice, I'd definitely grow it on my head more than my face.
Yeah, moving's a pain. We all feel your pain there, Kirk. That's for sure. All right, so moving on. We ready to see what exciting shows I was able to check out now that we wrapped up The Mandalorian, so we move on to the next big thing that we're all going to do together, which I've got something to say about that during this segment too. But we ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right. So we'll go from bad to good. I watched a movie called The Other Side. I just put up a graphic that I had to create myself because this movie's so bad. Oh, spoiler alert. This movie is so bad that you can't even find any evidence of it on the internet, aside from where I watched it, which is Paramount Plus.
Huh.
So I had to literally just take a screenshot of this actor. His name's Joe Flanagan. He's kind of a recognizable actor. He's the main actor of the movie. He was in Stargate Atlantis, Fringe, Dawson's Creek, Murphy. He's in a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah. Did you write The Other Side on there?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I was like, that's kind of a cool poster.
Oh, sweet.
I was like, I'd watch that one. Okay, I recognize that handwriting.
Well, that's good to hear. That's funny, yeah, because all I could find was a picture of him, and that's actually a shot from him in the movie. He's a Marine, and I recognize that because I just watched the movie, of course. But then that's all I could find, so I screenshotted it, and then I used my pencil editor to just write The Other Side on it. So, but anyway, yeah, like I said, I watched this on Paramount Plus. This is from 2010. Oh, and to follow up on my graphic here too, and true to form, then Patrick showed me up and he actually found some evidence on the internet. But it's pretty much the same picture, just a little bit more fancy. You right?
Yeah.
Closer shot of the dude's face. But then it actually has the professional graphic of The Other Side on there. But we're going to stick with this, not only because you've already endorsed it as cool, Mike, but then also because we can be to the side while I talk about this train wreck of a movie. So
we saw your Colonel there.
Oh yeah, how you can you see his rank there? Or
not on that one, on the other one that Patrick had showed.
Oh, you can see his rank on there. Yeah, he's a colonel in the Marine Corps, and he's a disgraced colonel. And
you found the official poster, Kevin. Sorry, I missed that reveal.
Oh yeah. The Mike says it's cool. It's really cool. He would watch it because of this specific poster. But anyway, real simple to get through this. Try to as painlessly as possible. They get like 4. Indiana Jones's partner in Temple of Doom, the guy that would always help him when he'd go to India or something. What's that guy's name? You know which one I'm talking about? The big guy, the beard, black beard. Yeah. What's the actor's name? Do you remember?
Reese. Boy.
All right. I should probably know that since this is my review. But anyway, he's in this too. So anyway, like I said, I see a couple of these familiar people. I'm like, okay, I'm checking it out. It was horrible right out of the gate, but then I'm like, okay, I got to stick through this and realize how horrible it is. And this movie would be bad if it were an after-school special on some obscure channel you've never heard of. This is new lows of bad special effects, bad acting, bad writing. This is just horrible. The only, I guess, pseudo positive you'd have here is, and this was in the synopsis, so it's another reason I watched it because the plot line seems pretty interesting. We've invented a technology to get energy from alternate dimensions. And of course, whenever these scientists that have developed this technology are showing it to politicians and military men, it of course goes awry, and of course sends them all into one of these alternate dimensions. So we literally spend the entire movie just watching them survive these horrible, ridiculous looking dinosaur-esque type creatures. Like literally they look like T-Rex, but just make them like have a face of a predator. They're like so goofy looking. So but there's like 4 or 5 of them in this world. So they're trying to escape back to our dimension. And while they're doing that, they have to fight off these alien dinosaur creatures. And all kinds of stupid stuff happens that's not even remotely entertaining, that I don't even want to describe. And of course, then they make it home. But it seems like they're setting themselves up for a sequel, because the very last scene, when they finally make it home, there's all kinds of ambulance and emergency sirens and lights going on in the background. You can't see what they're seeing, but then they both look at it and they're like, oh my God, what do we do? And they get up and they start to walk towards the lights, and then it fades to black, and then that's it. It's like totally setting you up for a sequel. So prepare yourself for my review of The Other Side Part 2.
Yeah, the other side. I guess
you're supposed to have, well, so anyway, I give this an 8.5. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give this maybe a 2, because like I said, the plot line seemed like it could have been interesting, although that's not a fresh idea. That is an interesting plot line. So literally that's all it gets, but everything else is just ridiculous. Don't waste your time on this.
John Rhys Davies. That's Sala's name.
Okay, John Rhys Davies, got it. Yeah, he was in, and spoiler alert, he wasn't in it very long either. He's the first one to make the mistake of stepping outside, and then the graphics for them dying too. Oh my God, it was literally, Patrick, I have faith. Yeah, Part 2. No, not my lovely wife is chiming in. Part 2 ? No, it's Part DEUX, Part 2, like Part 2. That's French for 2, right? Pat, you took French, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Pat's French.
Oh, Karen, thank you for reminding me again. I failed last week to use Mike's new suggestion for a ratings meter. This one gets 2 popcorns, 2 bags of popcorn.
Boy, it sounds like maybe just a few kernels, not too bad for popcorn.
Being pretty free with your popcorn.
All right, we'll take a vote right now too. There's 3 of you, so how many kernels are in a bag too? I need this information. How many kernels are in a bag of what Kevin watched bag of popcorn ratings?
I don't know.
Just spit out any number. Just help me out here.
Like 200.
Okay, 200. Okay. 200 good with you, Pat?
Sure.
Karen's good with 200 too. I can see her shaking her head in the background. Oh, my wife's saying 10. Okay, let's go 100 then. So let's go somewhere in between 200 and 100, or in 10. Yeah, so, okay. All right, so the next movie I watched is called Crimes of the Future. This was on Hulu. This came out in 2022, and this has Viggo Mortensen of Lord of the Rings and a bunch of other stuff, bunch of good stuff. I like him a lot. And then, of course, Kristen Stewart from Twilight and a bunch of other things, which I don't like her at all. I dislike her very much. So this was a mixed bag right out the gate for me in the trailer, you know. And I don't really hate Kristen Stewart that bad. I'm not really hating on her that much. I jokingly judge the Twilight movies regularly, but I think I've only seen like the halfway through the first one. I don't know. But anyway, Crimes of the Future. And this has a lady, Leah Seydoux. I don't know her from anything, but she's on the poster.
Sounds
too.
French.
Yeah, yeah. Let's give her a shout out too. But anyway, in this movie,
Yeah.
it takes place in the future, if you can't tell, and essentially what's happening in this movie is human beings are evolving, and the way they're evolving is like three different ways. One, we don't feel pain anymore at all. Okay. Two, since we don't feel pain, surgical procedures have become art on yourself and on others. Okay. And three, we are growing new organs inside of us. Okay. So Viggo Mortensen is like this super highfalutin elitist artist. He's like the top artist in the art world in this show because seemingly, I don't know if this is a fact or not in this world, but he grows organs like so regular that, again, combining it with the no pain and surgery being art, he uses the fact that he grows organs all the time as his art shows. You know, he cuts out, he does his performance art. He cuts out these organs on a show, and people are awing about this as if it's cool in this future world, right?
Oh my God.
If you can't
That's what I'm
tell,
saying.
what'd you say, Mike?
That's what I'm saying.
If you can't tell already, this movie is weird as heck, to put it mildly, right? But you could kind of tell it was a little weird in the trailer, which I'd say I have a pretty low bar of weird, but I can get down some weird sometimes. But my wife, and then I'll also include Mike in this, they like some weird stuff sometimes a little bit more than me. I can name some older movies that fit that category. Wouldn't you agree with that, Mike?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a good opportunity, and it's sci-fi. Get my wife involved and check this out. So that's kind of the backdrop of this movie. So then the story of the movie is what's happening here is there are extremists that think it's bad to mess with evolution. Like they think these extra organs that we're growing are essentially going to make us better beings, right? But the government in this society thinks otherwise. So
But they're portrayed as extremists.
Huh?
They're portrayed as extremists because that seems like that should be like the base. And
that's a good way to put it, Mike. I didn't put myself on one side or the other critically. It's just, yes, in the movie they are portrayed as the extremists. Yeah. And the government, like there's actually an organ registry. Like if you start growing a new organ, you're supposed to go to this government facility and have your organ tattooed and registered.
Sorry,
so then they can start, and like I said, Viggo's art is cutting these out every time they grow. So it's like, it's nuts. So
is this a comedy?
Huh?
Is it a comedy?
No. It would actually probably have been a better movie if it was a comedy. So, but then there's a cop, and spoiler alert, but I'm not even going to bother putting a spoiler alert up on this because of what I know the rating is going to be on the end of this anyway. Viggo Mortensen actually ends up being undercover for the Vice Squad, which there's a Vice Squad that wants to find these extremists and get rid of them because the government ain't down with human beings evolving. Okay. You tracking?
Yep.
Okay. So, so that's kind of the full plot. Then, as you can imagine with everything I just said, how this would be crazy and weird and stuff. Yeah, I think me and my wife regretted spending 2 hours of our life watching this movie. And it portrays itself as this really fancy, deep movie. you know. Maybe Mike, maybe you might appreciate this. As far as the acting's concerned, it's good. As far as the writing's concerned, it's actually pretty good. As far as the special effects are concerned, they're a little bit hokey, but they're nothing like on the other side. You know, they're actually pretty mainstream, new wave special effects. It's just this is just too weird, and the way it played out was kind of confusing. You're questioning kind of everything, and like Kristen Stewart's character is just totally a train wreck, in my opinion. You know, so anyway, we both didn't like this. I give it. What I give it? Did I give it 3 bags of popcorn? So I guess.
Oh, jeez.
That was the bomb exploding for that missile that was dropping 10 minutes ago. So anyway, this is 1 bag of popcorn better than the other side, which ain't saying much though, you know. So
Well, I'll look into this one.
So now I kind of get Jesse's comments. I thought she was just commenting on Kristen Stewart, but when she was saying "ooh" and I need to scrub my eyeballs, I think she was just talking about the movie in general now.
yeah, I think that's what it was, right, Mama? Yeah. Okay, so my wonderful wife says it had great potential with the story backdrop, but it went too weird for me. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you would just read the synopsis of this, several scenes made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. Yeah. This is the first one can totally be for kids. The other side could totally be for kids. This is definitely rated R for many reasons, not for kids. And they try to, you know, there's a bunch of like Jesse was just saying, there's a bunch of weird things they do with this too. It just got too weird for me. So, but yeah, Mike, I would be literally interested for you to watch this to tell me what you think. I would totally love to hear that. Yeah.
I wrote it down. I'll look at it.
Pat, where are you on the weird scale?
I can go weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Mike's probably a 9 on the weird scale. I'm more of a 4 or 5. What do you think? What do you are? Where are you?
I don't know. I'm probably more of maybe an 8.
Okay. You're leaning up towards the high end. Gotcha. Okay.
I have a
All
high
right, then.
tolerance for bad movies too, though.
What's that?
I have a high tolerance for like just bad movies.
Well, yeah, I definitely do that too, you know?
Yeah.
Karen's calling herself a 6 on the handling weird movie spectrum. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
We're all
where
over the place. We got the whole thing covered.
That's where I'm a little different. It has to be good. It can be weird, but if it's not good, I'm out.
Yeah.
Ironically, I would think I have the highest tolerance for bad movies of this group with the lowest tolerance of weird.
Yeah.
So that's why I survived the whole movie and you know, I guess why I watched it. But yeah, it's just bad rating. So speaking of weird, here's another weird movie coming at you. You ready?
Yep.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I finally got around to this one.
I've heard good things about this, but I have no clue anything about it.
Well, it's an Academy Award winner, first of all, multiple. It got Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress. So this cleaned house at the Oscars.
It won all of those?
Yes, it won all of those.
Wow, okay.
It got nominated for like 13, and those are the ones that won. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly, Karen. Pat, have you seen this?
Unfortunately, I haven't got the round to seeing this yet. I want to.
Mike? No?
I have not.
Oh, yeah, you just said at the beginning. Yeah, you have no idea.
I think a long time ago, Emily and I watched the trailer for it, and it looked good, but I've since forgotten everything about it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give too much. I can't give everything that goes on in this movie away, like spoilers kind of things in 2 hours. This movie's all over the place. And I don't take much stock in the Academy Awards anymore. They actually typically work against what I'll typically view now. You know, if someone tells me, oh, this is an Oscar, contender, I'm like, okay, that'll go on the back burner, you know, just because the Oscars have seemed to be so political and kind of agenda driven stuff. It just drives me nuts. So that really didn't hold much weight with me at all. Like I said, maybe even that's why it might have even taken me longer to check this movie out. But man, this movie's good. It's good. It's worth old school. When I loved the Academy Awards and I did the Oscar night, parties and stuff like that, this takes me back to that this, it deserves it kind of thing. And essentially what's going on with this movie, first of all, this, just to talk about the actors and actresses. First of all, again, this was from 2022, all those Oscar nods. And this has Michelle Yeoh. I don't know how to say her name. I apologize. I'm not trying to butcher anybody's name, but she's from like all kinds of stuff. What was she in the most recent before this?
She was a captain on Star Trek Discovery.
Okay. And she wasn't she in the MCU in was she in Shang-Chi?
Was she? She may have been.
I've definitely seen something recently where she was a kung fu master or whatever. Maybe it was The Witcher. Was she in the latest season of The Witcher, I think. Anyway, so then Jamie Lee Curtis is in this.
She wasn't Shang-Chi.
She was, okay. And then Ki-Hugh Kwan, did I say that right?
Pretty good, yeah, I think so.
Short Round from Indiana Jones. And,
right.
Of course, The Goonies. Stephanie Sue, I don't know her from anything. And rounding out what I'm going to read here is James Hong, which he's in everything. Yeah, so... it was great cast. But essentially what happens in this is there's a multiverse, of course. And this kind of, let me say it like this. It reminds me of kind of the Matrix where, Neo's kind of involved in something. And he gets kind of pulled into the whole fight for existence with the Matrix, blah, blah. That's what happens here. She doesn't know she's involved in something. And then she gets pulled into this fight for the multiverse. That's kind of the basic plot of this. And the way it plays out is, as you can imagine, with the multiverse, this movie, it's what this movie really does really well is it is so scattered. If you're not paying attention, it would just look like a mess, but it's done so well. If you are paying attention, it doesn't lose you at all. I was making comments to Jesse during this that that'd be 3-second scenes, hypothetically, with 10 flashes in it, but you catch it all. It's like the way they do it. It's like so perfect. And there's a lot of weird stuff in this. As you can imagine, too, that they try to, kind of ram it home that there's no rules in the multiverse, like they have a multiverse, which we've seen this in multiverse scenarios before. That's, they're cartoons, and there's a multiverse where they're rocks, and there's a multiverse where they have hot dogs for fingers and just all this craziness, too. Which those things, so my wife's chiming in that she thinks this is a great movie with a great message as well. So those things, I think they added in there to kind of express how crazy the multiverse is, but it's not overdone to where it makes it just a goofball thing. It's like I said, this is really well done. Yeah, my wife's saying again that this one was a good weird. Yeah, Karen, she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, one of my favorites of all time. That another Academy Award winner too there. So anyway, yeah, check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. I give this a solid 9 bags of popcorn with 1 kernel into a 10th bag. Okay.
9 bags with butter.
Matt, you keep adding stuff. I'm trying to keep up with your references. Okay, 9 bags with butter on top and 1 kernel into a 10th bag. That's where we are on this.
All right.
So my wife's chiming in that Short Round was awesome in this. Yeah, I mean, everybody, literally everybody's awesome in this. I didn't think anybody, even Jamie Lee Curtis, which her character's annoying as heck, she did a great job in it, you know. So yeah, this movie, in my opinion, deserves all its accolades. So check it out. It should definitely move up on your list. Incidentally, I watched this on Showtime, which I had to sign up for a 7-day free trial to get that through Amazon. So that's how I did it. Everybody else go ahead and do it, but don't forget to cancel after 6.
I picked this up cheap on Black Friday, and it's just been sitting there. I've been wanting to watch it, but
Oh, you did pick it up cheap? How much did you get it for?
it was like $6.
Oh, wow. Geez, yeah, because I almost considered buying the, you know, but it's just, you know, it's still in the $26 range or something, you know. So
You're talking digital though, right, Kevin?
yeah, I'm talking digital.
Yeah. I think Patrick's still
picking up the DVDs,
the Blu-rays and stuff.
Blu-rays, yeah. I'm assuming he went to pick it up so he can show.
Probably.
Is it a steelbook?
No, it's not a steelbook, but it was like a Walmart exclusive. It has like a slip cover that has eyeballs all over it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's a thing in this movie too. Yeah. Short Round basically puts googly eyes on everything, which is a pretty funny thing, you know. So, but and the biggest thing too that I haven't even touched on that Jesse did touch on is, yeah, at the end of this, you're just shaking your head about the message. It's really good, you know. You hope bad people watch this and it changes their life, kind of thing, you know, to not get too deep in on that, but it's a good message. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So check it out. Get to Everything Everywhere All at Once on Showtime or any other source you choose, but do it sooner than later. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it as well.
Yeah, for sure. James Hong is 94 years old.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Good for him. All right, so that'll do it for me. That's all I watched this week. I was trying. Oh, this is what I wanted to add at the end of what Kevin watched from now on. I was planning on getting to Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth season 2 came out this past week. Didn't quite make it because I wanted to, as I was taking advantage of my wife watching movies with me, I wanted to kind of go with things I thought she would enjoy as much as me. So I didn't get Sweet Tooth watched. So this gave me the idea that I'm going to watch Sweet Tooth this week for next week's show, if y'all want to join me. And then starting next week, I don't have any other ready besides for Sweet Tooth right now. Starting next week, at the end of my show, I'm at least going to give 3 things that I'm going to be watching for the next show. So not only y'all, but possibly viewers might want to, you know, watch what I'm going to watch too, and then get involved in the conversation, you know?
Yep. Well, 3 episodes into season 2 of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah,
Sweet Tooth. Oh, so you're good. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You watch?
Oh, you're 3 episodes in too, Pat?
2. I think we're 3, 2 or 3.
Okay, I'm a half an episode into episode 1. So
while we're just mentioning us on a side note here, Mike, have you heard any way to watch Essex County yet?
Not yet. It's still in the works. I think Lemire had stated that they're still working on getting it, you know, to the U.S.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So I'm anxiously waiting, as I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
As soon as I find it, I'll post it on both Xcellar pages.
Yeah. You're muted, Kevin.
thank you, Pat. Apparently, I should be excited for Essex County as well.
I mean, I think you'll probably enjoy the show. Reading the graphic novel might not be your cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think you'll probably end up liking the show.
It was the first time I noticed. Did they highlight Essex County in the first season of Sweet Tooth?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think Mike mentioned it when we were talking about it because I missed it the first time. Okay.
I didn't even notice it until I was watching this first episode of season 2. So, you know, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about next week. So it sounds like obviously all of us can talk about it, which brings me to another question I wanted to ask y'all. Do you prefer, and I feel like I may have asked you this before, but do you prefer like the Disney one episode a week thing, or do you prefer Netflix dropping a whole season? You prefer the one episode, Pat? Apparently,
I prefer one at a time.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm the same, one at a time.
Okay, so in the review, if we're going to review a season that drops, should we do it like break it up ourselves, even if it isn't dropped like that? anyway, because we all like it that way.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with Netflix, because people will watch the whole thing, and they're
In
they're
one
talking
day.
about it, and
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's 12 episodes, we can be 12 weeks behind everybody
Yeah.
else that watched the whole thing.
That's true.
And as much as I like the one episode release, I watched 2 episodes of Sweet Tooth the other night.
Yeah. Kind of go with what it got to go with what it is, basically.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was interested. Karen, what do you think about that? Do you prefer the one episode or the season drops?
It's just so much nicer because it builds anticipation and it gives you a week to talk about it. If you're up and current, that's the benefits of it.
Yeah, and it gives you that old school feel, of when that's the life we lived,
Yep.
Oh, Karen's into binge watching, so that I guess that means she likes the whole season dropping. Got it. Which who isn't into binge watching on occasion? But if you can't, like you were saying, Pat, if you can't fit the binge watch in your week for whatever reason, you get kind of screwed if you're paying attention on any kind of socials,
Yeah.
So, but doesn't it give you that old school feel like back in the day we had to wait a week to get to the next
yeah.
episode? It was great. That's
Man, like with Lost, I remember like writing down messages and screenshotting things, and it's crazy.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so like I said, that'll do it for me. That's all I watched this week.
We were talking about what was that? The Other Side and how bad it was. It got me thinking. I wanted to do a comparison. Is it? It sounds like the Batman movie that you and I made back in like 1991 or 92 might be better than this.
So I'm definitely going to say yes, because obviously we did it with the technology we had.
Right.
But I will give, if I have to say anything positive about Other Side too, besides for giving it a 2 because of a decent script, maybe a slight, like one kernel of edge in in special effects, Mike. But no joke. Seriously though, the edge they got is because I don't know how we would have created the big dinosaur aliens, but everything else, it looked just like we were filming it in the backyard back in the day. No jokes, Mike. Seriously. So
that's funny.
Horrible. So. And Pat, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, I need to see this. Unfortunately, we can't find it. So you're going to have to wait till somebody that got a boot of it puts it on the internet.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't find it? Dang it.
No, yeah, I don't know where it's at. Yeah. Sorry about it. You were the good one at keeping the old school stuff. I was the bad one at, every time I moved, I'd lose stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So you're up, Mike. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Pick 3. Nice.
Yeah.
Karen, my sister's following up on our Batman movie. Was it on VHS? Yes, is the answer to that, Karen.
It was on the little mini tape, wasn't it?
But yeah, I think we transferred it to a full size VHS. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it was put on disc at one point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's great, Patrick. It really is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick, I don't know whether you ever heard that story, and all the millions of listeners we got watching or viewers.
Well, I knew you had the Batman costume.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know if I knew about the movie.
My first stupid purchase as a youngin', and I should say substantial, when I actually got my own cash flow, which was when I joined the Marine Corps, was to go out and spend like $400 on a really high quality Batman 1989 Batman costume. So it was really cool. I wore the heck out of that thing.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Sorry.
All right, pick 3. This week It was a bit of a struggle at first. I sent Kevin a picture Friday of 1 through 10, and I had 1
Yeah.
selected. We have free comic book days coming up a week from yesterday, so there were a lot of free comic book day books on there.
Gotcha.
But eventually, I worked through it.
Yep.
And came up with this selection of books.
Which not too shabby, if I do say so. Actually.
Oh, thanks. It did work out pretty well. When I was done, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll run down them here. We have Batman 135, KO New, and I think Tyler had mentioned that this guy's quickly climbing his favorite artist list.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
He's been on our pick 3 a few times.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man Venom, the free comic book day #1 by Patrick Gleason. Shazam #1, John Timms. Astrobots #1 by Hector Trunick. I've never heard of this book, but that looks awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I'll follow up on that in a little while here.
Okay.
I'm glad somebody did some research on it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this just to read it. Animal Castle Volume 2 #1. Groot that's by Felix Delip. That's French. He's French. Groot #1 by the Scotty Young, Marcus's favorite artist. Edge of Spider-Verse #1, Peach Momoko. Batman Joker, it's got a longer title. I can't remember. #7 by Jock. Spider-Man 2099, Dark Genesis #1, Rod Reese. And X-Men Before the Fall, Sons of X #1, Martin Simmons.
Daggum.
I found that I'm writing these titles down, and it's not just X-Men. It's we've got this long thing, and then Spider-Man 2099, Dark Genesis. It's just there's so many books out there now. They're adding these long subtitles to them, and they all won't fit. Anyway,
man, that Animal Castle cover should be a cheap move. That pouty faced cat,
right?
Sucked in all the cat lovers.
Yeah. I like the Spider-Man 2099 cover. I like that. That's a connecting cover. I don't know what it connects to. That's frustrating. They say connecting cover, but it doesn't tell you anywhere what it connects to.
Yeah.
I liked it because it kind of had that Into the Spider-Verse art style feel to it.
Yeah.
I did break one of my rules. The Groot cover by Scotty Young, that is his website exclusive.
Oh man, that's 2 weeks in a row you broke the rules. Now I'm all distraught. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, the open order Scotty Young Groot cover, it's okay, but it wasn't as I thought this one was just everybody find this one cute. This is pretty good. So that's why I kind of broke my rules. So if you're looking for this one, you've got to get it from his website.
Karen approves. So you got to go to the website. Is the cover price on the website though?
I don't know. Usually it's not.
Yeah.
It's probably at the low end. It's probably $14.99.
Yeah.
All right.
But and then I also want to comment on the X-Men. I love anytime they do Legion like that.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
I hate it every time they do it. I'm not even joking. I don't like that at all.
That's funny. All right. So we know which one Kevin didn't vote for.
Right.
All right, here we go. Let's have a look at our top 3. Make sure I got these in the right order, hopefully.
Groot
Right.
#1 is $25.
Daggum.
Wow. I'm sorry. $25.
That doesn't even include shipping.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's go. Number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have Shazam #1 by John Timms.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is great. I really like
That's
this
actually surprising to me. I didn't vote for that one. I mean, it's fine cover. I didn't vote for that one though, but I'm surprised that one made a top 3.
one. Yeah, this had a lot of votes.
Yeah. Cool.
Next up, coming in the second position,
Oh, wow.
Astrobots #1.
Nice.
Yeah,
I did vote for that one. I'm still surprised it made the top 3 as well, though.
I'm not. That's just a really and there's another variant. This is a variant cover. I think there's another one that was pretty striking as well. I need to make sure I try to order this.
It's
I just
weird.
figured with. Sorry. Go ahead.
He Hector Trunick is the artist on this book, but he gets the B covers for some reason.
Yeah. I don't recall exactly what the A cover looked like, but it didn't really draw my attention. It wasn't until I saw this one.
Yeah, and obviously I love this. I was just saying, as far as the other contenders, with it kind of being an outlier kind of title, I thought that would keep it out of the top 3. But yeah, I love this. Yeah,
I've been following this closely. Do you want me to interject a little bit here? Or do you want to get through number
definitely.
1?
No,
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear more about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is based on a toy line, and I pulled the toy just in case this would win. I was going to talk about it regardless, but these toys have been around for probably 8 to 10 years. It's a small company. Come on, where are we at here? And I've been following, they announced this. Here we go.
Huh. Okay.
It runs, they ran about $60 to $70. It's a 7-inch figure. It's highly posable. And there are some other characters in the line. I think Apollo, this guy's name is Apollo, and I think he was the first one. And they've re-released him, which is nice. It's if you're a collector, there's always a little bit of yin or yang there about whether it hurts collectability and prices, but they have continually, I think because they are a small company, they have kept most of the figures in reproductions. They rerun them again, so you can Apollo is up for pre-orders again. I assume because the comic is finally coming out, so that gets me to the other point. Hector, I've been following him because he is a great robot artist. He just does phenomenal work. I'm always in awe of people that can draw robots, machinery, and cars. It's tough, man, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And he is incredible. But he's been working on this series, I don't know, 5 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, if you want to throw the cover back up, Mike, that's the only picture I have of the toy. I was shocked that it was finally being released. He's been showing little tidbits of in progress work for years now. I think part of it was finding a distributor, a company to release the book under, and this ended up.
Who is that anyway on this? Who's publishing this?
Yeah, it's Whatnot.
Whatnot.
What?
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've got these books ordered. I ordered all the Hector Trunick B covers, and I'm really excited to see. I never broke down and bought the toy, even though I thought they looked really cool. But now, if the series is good, and Simon Furman, he's known for writing Transformers. I hope it does well. I hope it's a good book. I know the artwork is going to be great because he is just top notch when it comes to robots. So sorry for taking over a little bit of the horizon there, but it's a little bit of neat insight to what this book is and where it's coming from, I think. So
yeah, that is awesome. Absolutely. I'm glad I voted for it.
Yeah, I'm glad that it did well this week because it was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. All right.
I'm glad it did so well. It's surprising, but it's a great cover. So
yeah,
and that's what everybody's voting for is the cover, not necessarily the character every time. Sometimes character does have something to do with it, but I'm glad to see.
All right, let's see if this cat in Animal Crossing can follow that.
Let me look. Oh boy, here we go. Unfortunately, Astrobots wasn't number one. Number one we have.
What? Oh my gosh.
Batman 135. This crushed it. We haven't had this many votes for a book since Lieber Mayhew's Detective Run.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that cat didn't make the top 3.
Yeah, that cat. Let's see. It had I'll tell you, it had 3 votes. The Raymond family, minus Tyler.
Well, obviously they're an influence on me. You know, like anytime I see them doing that, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be in the top 3.
Yep. Yeah, but every time I'd look at the votes, Batman, holy cow.
Yeah, that's a great cover. It really is.
And I'm glad I switched up. Initially, I was going to use the Art Germ cover because it's very nice, but it's typical Art Germ. And while I still think his covers are great, he's a phenomenal artist. It's the same style, the same pose.
Yeah, you get tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was just so unique.
Yeah, it is very cool.
So switched it up a little bit there. So that's
all right. Awesome.
And now I'm going to be looking into where I can get that Astrobots.
Yeah, me too. Where'd you get it, Pat?
DCBS.
Yeah, he probably pre-ordered it. Now we're like, oh geez, it comes out in 3 days.
Yeah, you need to put up those posts like Mike does, Pat, and say, hey, everybody needs to order this, so I can ignore that as well and not get any Spider Boys. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Patrick, I've got your stack. I have here is getting. I need to drive that up there, or one of us do.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Another great week there. Mike, you want to take that picture down?
Yep.
You guys, I think, frequent the comic shop more than me. Has Whatnot stuff been showing up in quantity in stores?
That might be true usually, but I haven't honestly been there in 2 months now, you know, so Mike,
yeah, I'm looking at one time a month, and I'm kind of staying away from the shelves because if I go to the shelves, I'm adding 3 or 4 books.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm staying away too, because I can't go there and not want, you know, so much, you know. So DCBS is safe. I've still got a 5-book subscription, so I still support the store, but it's tough to get in there and just grab the books and go, you know, especially with the salesman they got running the register too. He just wants to sell you everything.
Oh, he sell.
Yeah. So anyway, but so I'd be interested in knowing that too, if that's the only Whatnot title so far or not, you know.
Definitely not the only title, because I've ordered a couple more.
Oh, you have ordered a couple more? Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're just curious if they're showing up in actual LCSs as well.
Yeah, if people are actually ordering, the stores are ordering, the people are ordering that. Hey, I don't know.
I'm looking right now to see if Gateway is going to have it on their order form. And if they do, I will order you a copy, Kevin.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Boom. There they go.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. Grab me one too, please.
They've got the A, B, C, D, and E covers. I mean, they're supporting it across the board. So you want that B cover, right?
Yeah, I would definitely want that one for me, but you know, maybe we should have them to sell on Whatnot too. I mean, I know you're not made of money to order all this stuff, but you know.
I can order it. I'm not picking it up today. Maybe I'll be next week.
Chop it up. I'll get the cash for it. I will get the cash for it. Order one of each at least. Yeah.
All right, maybe
I'll order it in before our listeners get in there and order them all up.
Yeah, exactly. But that's awesome. I love that, not only because the art was great. I love it because I'm still a lover of Whatnot. I'm a big supporter, obviously, not only selling but buying, and I think it's a great platform. But then also, lastly, I mean, it doesn't get any more up my alley than robots and sci-fi, you know. So yeah, that's my kind of story. So, all right. So Mike, it looks like you're on deck to tell us what you think of what you read as well. Are you?
I'm ordering? Yeah.
Filler. I got to get this order in.
I was
No.
placing my order.
All right, we got like I think 27 seconds.
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right, you're first.
And you're muted.
Pictures are junk. I don't label them. All right. You want to move us to the side there? There we go. All right. I read Skull and Bones, Savage Storm #1 and 2. And these are from Dark Horse Comics, written by John Jackson Miller and James Mishlu. I can't even read my own writing. With art by Christian Rosado.
What attracted you to getting this?
I don't know. I actually ordered these on a whim. I saw the cover for that first one and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's based on, and I saw it was based on a video game. It was a short 3-issue series about, pirates. So I thought I'm going to take a chance on this one.
Well, if I'd have seen it, I'd have definitely grabbed them too, but I didn't know they existed.
Yep.
And then when you posted that, I was like, dadgummit.
Dang it. Yeah. So I'm just going to wing it here. I had pictures for everything. I'll show you some of the interior artwork, but, so we've got a merchant vessel with Captain Craddock, and then there's a pirate ship with the pirate captain there is John Scurlock, and Scurlock is attacking the merchant vessel. That's a picture of Captain Craddock right there. And during the attack, a typhoon comes up behind them and kind of wrecks both of their ships. And they both end up on the same island, just in different sections. So the merchant vessel, obviously, they want to try to hide all of their materials. So they drop a quick map. They're hiding it in a cave, and Scurlock ends up finding them. But also, we've got. See if I can find it here. While that's going on, this is just some of the interior artwork. I think it's great. Real rough, a lot of it kind of fits the whole pirate feel and stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It's fantastic. So while that is going on, we have 2 other ships, actually 3 other ships. The merchant vessel actually has an escort ship, but they got kind of separated. And the escort ship is attacked by Admiral Rama, and I thought I had pictures of her as well. And then it sounds more confusing than what it is. It reads really well. You can track everything, but then there's also a Commodore Vanderkill who is attacking a ship, and they're all ending up on the same island after like the same stuff, all for different reasons. This is that I would say this, if you can find it, it's a get it. I think issue 1 was a little hard to get for a bit. It was kind of selling for $10 to $15, but it's really cooled off. I think the market got flooded.
Why?
I think it's based on a game. So I thought, let me look into this game. Maybe I'll play this game. So that's some of the artwork for the game. Now,
what's that on PC?
Well, it's not on anything.
What?
This is the whole kicker for it.
Okay.
This has been in development, and it was announced in 2018.
Oh my gosh.
It has been delayed 6 times. The 6th time was, I think, this past January, February.
Wow.
It's now scheduled for a 2023/2024 release.
Wow.
And there's a lot of hiccups. They keep changing what's going to happen. It's a big open world type of game, and hopefully, I'm not stealing any of Kirk's thunder if he was going to talk about this game. But it's going to be open world, and they keep changing how it's going to be played. You know, is it all going to be at sea? Are they going to have it on land? Both, stuff like that. There were similar people had asked questions if it's very similar to Sea of Thieves. It's a little bit like Sea of Thieves, but this isn't as cartoony. It's more of a realistic graphics to it.
Yeah.
That kind of played a little bit of a part into why I saw it was based on a video game, Pirates short series. I got it. And
so that's why the value of number one is, you're speculating that the value of number one is, it's kind of hot because people that are waiting for the video game are getting the comic book in the meantime, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's since come down. I think you can probably get it off the internet for a little above cover price. You know, maybe you're on $10 with shipping, stuff like that. So it's definitely cooled off. And issue number 3,
in. It looks awesome. And
issue 3 actually comes out this Wednesday.
Okay.
So you can, if you can find them all, you can read them all right away. You can kind of binge read them.
Oh yeah, you did say it's a 1 through 3. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a get it. And if you can't find the issues, I'm sure they'll be doing a trade paperback at some point.
Yeah, I love the Sea of Thieves comics too. So yeah, all these are.
Yep. There's the covers for issues 1 through 3.
Nice. Yeah, classic. Awesome.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Definitely, I'm gonna be something for me to pick up. That's for sure.
What's happening with Dark Horse these days? Am I hearing correctly that they're moving to Penguin as a distributor? They were not featured in previews this last month.
Well, I heard they were having financial problems. They were struggling financially. That's all I heard.
Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear Dark Horse. I know IDW is on their last leg because they've been out of previews for at least a year now, I think, or at least 6 months.
Yeah, they're still in there, but they got moved to the independent section, and half the time they don't have preview covers shown.
Right.
And
they lost a lot of big hitting books like Transformers.
Yep.
Yeah. But as far as Dark Horse, I didn't hear anything.
I could be confusing it to IDW, but no, I don't know. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right, Pat, what do you got?
Okay, so I said I was trying to catch up on Amazing Spider-Man, and that's what I did a little bit more this week. I read Amazing Spider-Man 19 and 20. And, you know, we kind of talked about the dark web limited series, miniseries interfering with the main title in the storyline there. Well, we have more of the same here. This is a sort of more of the same. This is a 2-issue fill-in story by Joe Kelly and Terry Dodson. Which, you know, right away I'm thinking, you know, I like Terry Dodson's work quite a lot. Not so good. It seems like it's rushed in these 2 issues. A lot of really, really sketchy background stuff. The only thing I can think of is they were on a tight deadline to get these 2 books done and get them out the door. And the story is not great either. Basically, what this is Peter Parker and Black Cat, Felicia. They want to take a weekend off. They go to a ski resort or like a mountain lodge, take a break at the spa. And there's a little bit of continuing the storyline going on with Peter Parker and Mary Jane here, because when they show up at this ski resort, who happens to be there but Mary Jane and her boyfriend. And so that there's a little bit of awkwardness there and a little bit of progressing the storyline, I guess, or tying in to the current storyline where you don't know what's going on with Mary Jane and Peter. But the main thrust of the storyline here is, once they get the relationship stuff out of the way, is that the White Rabbit has sort of set up a villain fantasy camp this retreat, and they're using White Rabbit works for Tombstone, and they're sort of absconding with technology that Tombstone has, and giving these gadgets to rich guys who want to play supervillain. And in the midst of all this, someone gets murdered, and there's a little bit of a murder mystery going on. But the whole thing is just, man, it's like you don't want to see these guys dressed up as supervillains and Spider-Man and the Black Cat fighting them. You look at these two covers, you think, oh, they're going to fight some ninjas. No ninjas to be found.
No ninjas.
It does, however, take place in a wintry setting, but you don't get too much of that in the comic.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
In these two covers, they're John Romita Jr. covers. He was not the artist on these two issues. Like I said, it was Terry and Rachel Dotson. So yeah, it's a lot of the writing too. I don't know. I think it's Joe Kelly he's done a lot in the past. Maybe I've liked some of it, but a lot of this seems, some of the dialogue comes off like he's trying too hard. He's like trying to interject some, like modern current day slang, or that throws you out of stories when you're reading it, in my opinion. It'll be dated, in 10 years from now, people think it's really awkward then. But overall, these two issues, I thought if anything that Terry Dotson art would save it, but these two issues are a forget it for me.
Wow.
And the next issue is getting back. It's sitting there right beside my bed, getting back to the main storyline. So we'll see how things go from there. But these are, unless you're complete, you want to complete your Spider-Man run, you're a completist. You don't want to drop an issue. There's no reason to pick up these two issues. It's really subpar.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row for you too, right? Because that was 18 with the final Dark Web, right? That you gave a pass already too, right?
Yeah, the only thing, the good thing about that was it was an okay story, but it had really good art. I can't say the same here. I don't know what was going on.
Gotcha. All right.
Whoops. Sorry.
Is he in that issue? No, I'm just kidding.
My screen jumped on me.
Gotcha. All right, so I followed up on what I read last week with continuing to read Yoda. I read issue number 3 and issue number 4. And does anybody have a guess who that character is beside Yoda on the cover of issue 4?
John Wick? No, I don't know.
No.
Is it Count Dooku?
Yeah, good one. Yep, it's Count Dooku.
Yeah, he's my second guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this try to be professional about this, like you guys always are. So, the cover artist. Here's something interesting too. I wanted your guys' feedback on this. So, the cover artist, the A cover, is Phil Noto. Is Noto? How do you say that? Phil Noto.
Noto. Yeah.
Okay. But these are variant covers. And on the 1 and 2, I got variant covers as well. And they actually, the first one was David Nakayama, says it on the cover. Second one was Todd Knox, says it's signed on the cover. But this issue 3 and 4 have no signatures on the cover. And when you look inside, it lists all of the variant covers kind of jumbled, cover artists jumbled together. So without a signature on these covers, how am I supposed to know, unless I'm familiar with the artist or whatever, but just being me, how am I supposed to know who's this artist, right? I mean, just guess out of the batch, it's like weird, right? Is that a thing now? I've never really noticed that before.
Yeah, it's Marvel just lists all the variant covers all in a jumble, so you don't really know who's who. This does have a signature. It's tough to see. That looks like maybe Ryan something, maybe.
Where you see it?
Under his armpit.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Patrick's pointed this out before. DC is putting the cover artist's name printed on the cover. I think it's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the credit, because
Okay, see if you can see a hidden signature for 4.
Yeah, I didn't notice one there, I don't think.
Man,
Unless
your eyes are so good.
it's under the banner.
No. So anyway, yeah, I don't exactly know who the artists are, the cover artists are for these, but the interiors are Nick Leone, and the writers. Here's the other thing too. This changed for 3 and 4. So for 3, the interior artist is Nick Leone, and the writer is Cavan Scott. And for 4, the interior artist is Luke Ross, and the writer is Jody Hauser. So they, kind of changed the teams, I guess, each issue too, So I didn't state who they were in 1 and 2, though, so I can't confirm whether that's every issue. But at least for these 2, the artist and writing team inside are 2 totally different teams. So, anyway, to remind people about the story, at the beginning of this story arc, we see Yoda on Dagobah after the events of episode 3, and he's talking to some mysterious stranger. We don't know who it is, but then he basically, it prompts a memory of him going to a planet called Turok in the Outer Rim to help the Scalvi people fight off Krolkin raiders. And that's kind of the gist of 1. The gist of 2 is he's helped them, and he decides he's going to stay there for a while to be with them against the Jedi Council's request to come back. And then what happened at the end of issue 2, he was actually kidnapped. We came to find out that he did it intentionally as kind of a test for the Scalby people. And the very last thing that happens on the last page of issue 2 is the main Scalvy character that we're following. His name is Bree. Bree actually uses Yoda's lightsaber to cut him free. And just as that happens, a Krolkin raider comes in. The leader of the Krolkins, called Ryok, comes into the room they're in, and Yoda's like trying to calm Bree down because he's all angry because they think, again, like Yoda was kidnapped. So he actually kills Ryok. So then starting in issue 3, Yoda is very disappointed in Bree for killing Ryok. And he decides he's going to leave the planet and head back to Coruscant and kind of leave them to their own devices because partially of his disappointment, and then secondly because the raids are going to stop because the Krolkin leader has been killed. So then we kind of jump forward, seems probably at least like 10 years, and basically on Turok, Bree has become this legendary hero that the kids look up to him as the savior of Turok. He's the killer of the evil Ryok Krolkin leader, and Bree's becoming older and wiser and kind of regrets his decision to kill Ryok, and he actually doesn't really like that the kids look up at him like this, killer, kind of thing. So the kids, or not the kids, the outposts of the Scalvy people look out into the water and see some Krolkin people, and they assume they're a scouting party, like they're getting ready. They've built up their forces again, and they're going to attack again. And Bree is like, let's just build up our defenses. Let's see what they're doing. The little kids are kind of, ready for violence. So they're like, telling Bree, no, we have to attack them while we have the advantage, kind of thing. And Bree's telling them, no, let's just be defensive. So now they think Bree is a coward. So these kids, there's 3 of them, kind of run off, go to the Krolkin fortress or whatever and actually kidnap one of their kids as leverage. And then, of course, that actually makes the Krulkin attack. And Yoda has to return because he made the promise whenever they did need him, he'd return. So Yoda comes back, and we come to find out that when Bree discovers that the children kidnapped the Krulkin child, he kind of comes out kind of willing to sacrifice himself just to show the Krulkin, hey, we didn't do this. It's our kind of naive kids. They made a mistake. You can have your kid back. No problem. We don't want to fight. And in the meantime, too, the Krulkin kid told Bree that the Krulkins were starving, that they had no resources. So we come to find out from issue 1 and 2, when the Krulkins were attacking the Scalvi people, they basically were at it was a last resort for them. They thought they had to steal because they were dying. They had no other resources. And where the Scalvi people are is where the resources are on this planet. So when Bree discovers that this is the issue, he decides to resolve the conflict just by welcoming in the Krulkins to where the Scalvi live on Turok, and peace is had, and Yoda is really proud of Bree. And that's kind of the gist of this whole story arc. And so it's the same story arc from 1 through 3, and the 3 is the actual finale where, then Yoda actually heads back to Coruscant because now Turok is a peaceful place and all the races are getting along, and it's, whatever. This is fine. I'm going to give it the same rating that I gave last week, that, if it's Yoda, if you're a Yoda fan, get it, which this is where I fall, of course. But if you ain't a Yoda fan in particular, this is, forgetful as well. So I wouldn't really recommend if you're looking for any quality story. The art's fine too. Nothing spectacular there either. So it's nothing special. So I would pass if you're, because I know there's a lot of good stuff and people are looking for reasons to keep their lists as short as they can. I would keep Yoda off of it if you aren't a big Yoda fan. And it doesn't seem to play, well, definitely not doesn't seem, it definitely does not play any role in the main Star Wars story arc, stories to where you need it as well, obviously, because it takes place in a completely different time frame. But then we get to issue 4.
Well,
and
you said issue 3 real quick. Issue 3 was the last of that story arc, which kind of explains why Jody Hauser writes issue 4. She might be doing the next 3 issue story arc or something like that then.
Yeah, that's what I was speculating as well, but I just can't confirm it without breaking out my 1 and 2 again, but
your cover artist here is Ricky Yagawa.
Okay. Sorry about that, Ricky. I didn't notice your signature there.
Your cover artist here is Rachel Stott.
Okay. I definitely like this one better than 3. I like 3's okay, but 4 is pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, so issue 4 goes into a new story arc. Excuse me. It starts off just like issue 1. We're back on Dagobah with Yoda. So of course, again, I was like, oh, let's get some story of what's happening with Yoda. No, he immediately again is talking to the mysterious stranger again. And then it takes him back to Coruscant when, Dooku, which we just said, this is who's on the cover. He's still a young Jedi. He is no longer Yoda's Padawan, but during the entire thing, he's referring to his old master. The cool thing that happens in this that kind of grabbed me right away is they start talking about Sifo-Dyas, which I don't know if I'm missing some more modern canon with Sifo-Dyas, but where do we know Sifo-Dyas from, Pat?
He supposedly is the one that ordered the clones.
Exactly. I mean, do you know anything else than that?
Yeah, they did. Was it in some of the newer Clone Wars? Those add-on episodes or maybe Visions where they talked about, they revisited this a little bit, where I thought we were finally going to get some really concrete answers. And being that I can't remember exactly, I wonder if we did get any concrete answers.
They may have been kind of vague. Yeah. Well, I'm more excited for the future of Yoda. Is this a limited series, Mike? Do you know?
As far as I know, it's ongoing.
Okay. Well,
They
that
solicited
was
it up through issue 10. Well, there's information up through issue 10.
okay. That's good. Hopefully. So we didn't get any Sifo-Dyas information. The only thing that's mentioned is Yoda. So what's happening in this story is Yoda is trying to recruit Dooku to help him train Padawan at the Jedi Temple. And when Dooku's coming around to agreeing to do that for Yoda, they see these three, seems like the focal point of this story is these three younglings. One's a Trandoshan, which is Bosk. If you don't know, that's Bosk's race. And one is a Wookiee, which if you don't know, you probably don't like Star Wars. That's Chewbacca's race. And then another one is this tiger. She looks like a Bengal tiger. I've never seen her race before. They didn't even define it either. It's just those are the three main characters you focus on. And when you see them playing around, Yoda makes mention to Dooku that this reminds me of when I used to watch you and Sifo-Dyas play. And which I was like, huh? You know? And Dooku's like, yeah, that was a long time ago. What is he doing now? And Yoda talks about how he's out chasing his visions. That's all he's kind of giving us as of now. So, but that was cool. It's always, like you said, Pat, it's always exciting, the possibility of getting this concrete evidence about all this unknown stuff. I've said it a million times. But anyway, so then this story, aside from that, Yoda and Count Dooku are training the younglings, and the little Wookiee youngling has the Wookiee's name is Kershish. It's like Kersantin, but instead of Kersantin, it's Kershish. Okay, so Kershish starts to have visions, and in his visions, he is envisioned the Trandoshans attacking. Oh man, what's the Wookiee homeland? Oh man, Kashyyyk. Yeah, so the Trandoshans are attacking Kashyyyk. So then, without having any experience with the Trandoshans, Crishius is automatically kind of starts to become prejudiced against his Trandoshan friend. And that's kind of where it ends. You get to see. Dooku is aware of Crishius's visions. So Dooku is kind of playing a role to help Crishius, avoid his visions, because they're telling the whole Jedi story that visions are what could be's. They aren't what is definitely going to be's. So don't take too much stock in them to act on them, essentially. But he basically starts to act on it and be prejudice of his little Trandoshan friend. So that's where it ends. So there's not a whole lot happens in this. Get some cool little teasers for what could be in the future. I'm actually undecided on this one. If this one ends up being a 3-story arc and we get cool stuff for the next 2 issues, I would maybe go back and say get this. But as of right now, with that with the way this is kind of teasing us, I'm gonna be undecided on this. I'm not gonna say get it or forget it because I need more info. So I enjoyed the read though; it was fine, and the art's cool. Again, so
yeah. The way it looks, they're. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say the way it looks through issue 10 or through issue 9, they're three issue runs for each writer.
Okay. So then I'll know exactly what I think of this after the next 2 issues.
Yeah. And then at that point, you'll have a new writer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see where Yoda's awesome. And I love that Yoda's been an extremely stable character that they haven't messed with, as far as, what kind of character he is. He's awesome. I'm a big Yoda fan. So and maybe reading. Sorry.
Do you have a guess? What's your guess on who he's talking to on Dagobah, Yoda?
I actually was thinking Dooku. I shouldn't even say that's still who I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards Dooku.
I think it's probably Qui-Gon, don't you?
I don't
Think
know.
that's a good guess. Because isn't he? Haven't they sent Qui-Gon up? Is he?
He's the one that discovered how to talk from the beyond.
Yeah, and he couldn't, even though maybe he, by the time the Obi-Wan Disney series comes about, he can project his image, but he was voice only. Isn't that how they kind of set that up? Was
Yeah,
communicate by speaking?
yeah, maybe you're probably right, Pat. Yeah, I was leaning towards Dooku with this issue because
Yeah,
the way it sets it up, like it almost seems like he's talking about. I can't remember the exact line he said, but the line he said before they cut to this past sequence just gave me the impression it was Dooku. You know, I didn't have any guesses in the first issue though, and yeah. Qui-Gon seems like a good guess based on. I didn't even think of that. You know, that's what's so crazy about Star Wars, trying to take yourself to the proper time frame you should be in for what you're reading / watching. You know, because obviously we've covered such a huge area, which that's what makes Star Wars so exciting too, is because we've covered such a huge chunk of the universe as far as viewers, but it's such a small chunk of the timeline as far as what we actually know exists in the Star Wars, universe, right? I mean,
yeah.
the Old Republic, which I guess got canceled, that's from 1,000 years before anything else we've seen yet, so anyway. So there you go. Yoda is a fence. So we got Mike with a get it for Skull and Bones, Pat for a forget it for Amazing Spider-Man, and a undecided for me for Star Wars. Thank you, Karen. You're getting, your timing's getting better, and that's awesome. All right. Now we're ready to see what the heck is going on with Moon Knight. Are you ready, Pat?
I am ready.
All right, here you go. Was that skipping for you guys?
No.
Totally skipped for me. I'm glad no one else saw that train wreck I just watched. All right.
As I interrupted pick 3 with my Astrobots, and the one thing I neglected to say was they are the company that makes them is Top Notch. So I'm sure you've probably never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of them until these guys either. But they're just a small company.
Do they sell? Is this like their one line, or they sell other lines?
That's a good question. I'll get back to you on that. I'm not sure. Okay. So right off the bat, I wanted to, we had a lot of Star Wars. We basically had no Star Wars this week, but we did have one last Mando Mania, and this is the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. He's the guy that was getting the transmissions back from Axe Woves when he was jetpacking up to the Imperial Light Cruiser.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it just kind of weird. One single figure shown, and not really too far along. They didn't show a boxed image of him, so I mean, not exactly an exciting character either. But
yeah,
show
another Mando.
Yeah. We'll stay with the Star, but we'll go to Trek. Super 7 announced Ultimate Star Trek The Next Generation. Ultimates are their larger size figure, whereas they're, they have the reaction smaller 3 3/4 inch. And with the larger size comes a larger price tag. These guys are $55 a piece.
What? Jeez.
Just the 3
What
initially.
size are these? Did you say?
7-inch.
Wow, 55 for a 7-inch. Jeez.
Yep. It's Super 7 for you. There they are. They do come with a lot of swap out parts, heads, hands, weapons.
They do look cool. They do look cool though.
Yeah, they're well done. But I mean, I don't know. If you're a big Star Trek fan, I guess.
You know, I was actually the next generation was whenever I actually started to get into Star Trek.
Yeah. I think you're probably not alone there. It was a good entry point for, that modern age, and you start stepping back and dipping into the original series and then moving forward. So yeah, I think it hooked a lot of people.
Yeah.
Promise and McFarlane, we haven't talked about them in a while. Not a lot here, but they did announce the Walmart exclusive Captain Atom in the DC Multiverse line. This is your 7-inch figure. The reason I wanted to mention it because it is a Walmart exclusive. So if you really want Captain Atom, you look for Walmart pre-orders and haunt the aisles of Walmart.
He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, not much to go by there. They just showed the one initial shot. I mean, he looks fine. He looks like Captain Atom. And
I think those those effects on his hands aren't too bad either.
Yeah. Yeah. Sticking with the 7-inch line, they showed this wave of page punchers. This is Batman fighting the Frozen, which I am not familiar with. I'm sure it was a comic book at one point.
Yeah, me neither. Never heard of it. Have you, Mike?
No, or was it that Target exclusive Batman book? I don't recall what line that was. They had some toys based on it too.
Yeah,
Target had an exclusive comic.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They went along with these. I forget. This isn't the same thing, I don't believe. I forget what that line was called.
I was like, they were medieval.
Yeah.
More.
And it was sort of Masters of the Universe type figures.
You talking about Primal? Was it Primal?
I think so.
It's possible,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a Target exclusive. Okay.
They had a 100-page giant that was exclusive to Target.
Okay.
I mean, if you're in a weird alternate, looks like Batman, Robin, Batwoman or Batgirl, and maybe build a figure of Mr. Freeze, maybe.
Yeah, no. Right. Yeah.
And again, these are the page punchers, so they're the larger page punchers. And if it follows suit for some strange reason, he puts the same comic in every single figure. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but you'll get a comic book with these figures.
And we'd assume it'd be the comic that these figures are based on, right?
You'd think, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, early shots, so there was no inbox pictures of them or anything like that.
Gotcha.
And the last McFarlane thing I have this week is continuing their superpowers line. They showed a vehicle of Wonder Woman's invisible jet.
What?
Hold on a second. That is
the figure isn't included.
What was that?
This is figure not included.
Yeah, figure not
this
included.
is just a funny ad, right?
It sort of is, but there actually is a product. Here we go. Todd was sort of trolling people.
Okay.
There we go.
There's the invisible jet.
Wait, now is the figure included?
Yeah.
Good question. I would say no because the other vehicles did not include a figure, but doesn't say it here.
That's what I always thought was silly about the invisible jet. I mean, you'd see them just going through space then, just flying in the air, but sat down in a chair. I mean, right? I mean,
yeah. So you'd think they would reconfigure the jet so they'd be in like a flying position, so nobody would even know.
Yeah.
Make it look cooler.
Yeah.
Or, looking like you're sitting in a chair going through.
Or isn't there something that happened in Wonder Woman 84 where she talked about that technology where they were actually invisible too or something? Wasn't there something like that?
I have not watched that yet.
Oh my God. You got to watch it just to see what a train wreck looks like.
That's
I haven't watched it either.
Oh my God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yep.
All right. That's Big Pass. Is this going to be as cheesy and horrible as the Batmobile? Have we seen Todd McFarlane play with this toy without an action figure yet?
Yeah, he bends Wonder Woman to a seated position, then he doesn't put her in the cockpit.
Right.
No, I don't know. And just to follow up on that a little bit, I've heard some decent things about the Batmobile. I guess it's showing up places and people are getting their pre-orders and it's showing up on store shelves and it's not maybe as bad as we thought it might be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't. I shouldn't, especially I shouldn't, because I love Todd. I shouldn't bash him so much.
Yeah. Leave that to me.
Okay.
All right, we can always count on Hasbro to put out some product for us, and I've shown these two figures before, but now we know what's going on and where they're going to end up. These are Walmart exclusive. This 2-pack of Black Knight and Cersei, and it is a $50 Amazon exclusive. So that lines up with their $25 retail for single figures. So they're not even charging any extra on top of that. So it's $50 for these two, and there they are with their limited accessories.
Did you pretty much have the whole, like, have you been reading Avengers? Did you read most old Avengers and stuff?
I was a big Avengers fan, yeah.
So is the Black Knight look like this with the leather jacket and stuff?
Yeah, this unfortunately was when they started to lose me, was the Bob Harris era. He had just come off of X-Men and he wanted to make the Avengers hip and cool like the X-Men and gave them all jackets.
Okay.
How do we make them cool? Jacket. Okay, but at least give them a cool jacket.
Well, bomber jackets are pretty cool then, I'm assuming that's kind of what they are, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think if my memory serves me, they all have Avengers A's on them somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. This might, Mike might like this because he's been digging the covers lately. They announced a new Joe Fixit figure.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
No box pictures and no price yet. They just showed him a couple poses, two different heads, so you get two different kind of looks there. And there he is, two heads, two sets of fists. Yeah.
I don't buy action figures very often. I might get that one. That one.
Yeah.
I imagine if I were to throw out a guess on pricing, he's going to be like in those bigger packages and they're going to charge $35 like Chrysanthemum last week. I would assume he's probably the same. Yeah.
I just ordered a bunch of comics from Gateway a few minutes ago.
No action figures this week, at least. And then we're going to continue the VHS Retro Spider-Man animated series. They announced the Mary Jane and Green Goblin 2-pack. I mean, again, if you're into collecting them in those animated packaging or the retro VHS looking, they actually don't show the boxes when they release this information, but they are coming in those faux VHS case boxes. There they are, sort of on their own. I mean,
those look pretty good.
Yeah, they look good. I'm just not a fan of the Spider-Man animated series, so that's an easy pass for me. But I know there's a lot of fans, not only of the series but of that VHS packaging. So, no pricing on these guys either. A lot of not much. We had so much happening, in the preceding weeks. There wasn't much going on this week except for a few early previews from Hasbro. So, we'll finish it off with some Moon Knight. Now, I can't remember. Something tells me, did you have are you familiar or have the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi figures, Kevin? Any, like Captain America, maybe?
No, nope.
So somebody did. There's a group shot of a lot of them that they've produced on the Marvel side.
I think I was talking. I know what you're thinking. I have these in my eBay cart because I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never put a trigger on them yet.
right off the bat, we may have talked about this before too. Unfortunately, you really got to watch with this line, this Amazing Yamaguchi, because they are bootlegged like crazy for some reason.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah. If you don't care about that, I mean, you don't care about that, but there is a lot for some reason of bootlegs of this line out there.
Well, they're expensive as heck. So
Yeah.
I sure would hope the ones that I've got are the original ones.
Yeah, you'd hope. I don't know. So I actually had this figure I'm going to show last week, but I held off because I had so much Star Wars. So I figured I'd show him because he's cool. Plus, I know there's some big Moon Knight fans in the group, and this is the amazing Yamaguchi Moon Knight figure.
Wow.
We got some nice shots, some really good posing here. Go through them. The cape has, this is they do this a lot with more higher end figures where they put like wiring in the cape so you can pose the cape in all these different poses, so it looks like it's flowing.
Lots of pinholes in that one though, huh?
Well, it's like a more armored look for the Moon Knight costume. That's what you're kind of seeing there.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. They're intentional for the
Yes,
look. Got it. Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Now, I will say, we'll cut back here real quick. That is one of the complaints about Amazing Yamaguchi is the joints. If you don't pose them just right, the joints are very apparent. Like this guy here, you don't really see it that much, probably because he's an accomplished poser. He knows how to pose his figures. But if you don't do it just right, you see a lot of the gaps and things like that.
Tyler's gonna get that. I can see him buying that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we'll talk about pricing as we go through the pictures here. It's not crazy. This is they're 7-inch, I believe. The thing is, they're out of Asia. I don't remember if they're Chinese or Japan, but you can get them reasonably on foreign sites like Ami is reputable, Hobby Link Japan, and you can get them. Again, I don't think this is a bad price because we're talking higher end figures and we're talking importing. You can get them for around $75. You can get him in the US through Big Bad Toy Store, but you're going to pay $120 for them. It's very easy these days to order from, like I said, Ami or Hobby Link Japan. They're very English friendly sites and they do a lot of business outside of Japan.
Do you know what the shipping difference is on that?
Again, well, I would probably say to ship this figure, it's probably going to be about $15.
So why you can actually get them cheaper from the source than in an American outlet.
Exactly, and you're getting around to my point that I'm making in a long roundabout way, Kevin.
Sorry.
No, you said it better than I did. That's what I was trying to get across. Is if you really watch and you're not afraid to order from these Japanese sites, a lot of times you can get better deals because, like a Big Bad Toy Store is charging you extra for doing the importing.
Wow.
For you. Yeah, I forgot what I was doing and trying to go through the pictures here.
Sorry. I'm sure I threw you off there. Are those capes wired too? Do you know?
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
they have wires in them so you can pose the cape. That's why
That's cool. That is cool.
And there's a couple different face portraits. I mean, Moon Knight's kind of tough because he doesn't have that many faces, but the eyes glow in the dark on this guy. And there are all his accessories there. You can kind of see the different heads and hands.
That's a nice figure.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see Tyler's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those deals where yes, it's one of those higher priced figures. But if you like Tyler, if this is one of your most favorite characters, you might dip your toe in the Japanese market and pick up a Moon Knight because it's really cool, I think.
Yeah, very cool. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
And yeah, once again, I love these these people that set these figures up and take these great pictures.
Right.
Kudos to them. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and here you got the manufacturer doing it, so they're definitely going to come out with guns
Great
blazing.
poses. Yeah.
They have to sell their product. But yeah, like I said, it's just you give credit to people like this that can find the right poses and make everything look really cool.
Yeah.
That's it for the Horizon.
That's awesome. Well, that is an awesome Horizon. It's always funny. I'm sure we all. Well, maybe Mike doesn't feel this as much as maybe you and me, Pat, because it always seems like Mike does a lot of hard work that takes him a long time for 10 minutes on a show. But then I'm always feeling like I haven't done enough prior to the show. But then my segments always, obviously, they run an hour, a little bit over every time. And then you always seem to talk yourself down a little bit, like, I don't have that much. But then, man, what you show is just epic, like every time. I don't know if I've ever had one Horizon that I'm not like, man, this was awesome. And if I had a ton of money, I would definitely be grabbing everything you're showing. Right, Mike?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
So good. So good. All right. So then that'll take us into a recap. Everybody got their notes ready?
I have a couple.
All right. Sweet. I love Pat. You got a couple too?
Yes.
Man, you guys are awesome. I'm always the one mentioning notes, but guess what? I've never taken note once.
Yeah. Anything down.
What were you saying, Mike? Sorry about that.
You never write anything down.
Yeah, no. Even you mentioned how you can't read your writing and stuff. Even when I do take notes now, I use my digital notepad now, and I either talk into it or type it out.
I got a new mechanical pencil, so I'm really using that.
Nice.
When you get a new pencil, you got to use it.
Yeah. All right. What's your first note?
My first note, it's funny that you asked for my first note, because it is a note to Francisco Matina to use the entire page when you're presenting a piece of artwork. Because if not, Kevin's going to call you out on
it. Right.
Well, Mike stole my T-shirt because coming soon to the Xcellar store, I think we should have a 2/3 of almost nothing T-shirt.
But yeah, we got to get on that. Mike,
I have a whole entire Teespring store set up. I just need to make it live.
Yeah, and Karen, what's your status on our website starting to sell stuff? Let's your sound effect to answer that question, Karen.
Yeah, it smells like crickets.
Yeah. Hey, well, we make it to the show with some good stuff every week, even though on the outside of it we're failing a bit. But anyway, first thing I have to say is, man, for all the great ideas we have for Cover Combat 4, it just keeps making the picks tougher and tougher and tougher. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh, I'm up again.
Yeah.
The fan-made poster for The Other Side is better than the movie.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you, Karen, but I crack under pressure. I'm not good in front of crowds.
Pat?
Don't be afraid to import. Dip your toes in those foreign toy markets.
I know Cora orders some stuff from some website. It's always dirt cheap. These cool little things.
Yeah.
She has success with it. And it's all from overseas.
When you're watching weird movies, it's you're rolling the dice. You never know what you're gonna get. And on today's show, we got one where we got craps and one where we got, 7. So, it was one really good one bad one. So you never know what you're going to get, but always check them out.
The Cover Combat 4 is live on the Xcellar Facebook page, so you can go vote right now. I mean, not right now, in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Stick around.
I would say, unfortunately,
Karen's got a recap that Mike is a rule breaker. Apparently, this is true. Keeps breaking his pick 3 rules.
I only break my own rules.
Yeah.
I follow all the,
Other
rules.
Got it. Yeah.
I would just a sad reminder. Even Terry Dodson has bad days. He couldn't save these 2 fill-in issues of Amazing Spider-Man.
But then we were saved by a little bit of awesomeness with Astrobot being awesome, getting the cool extra info from Pat. And then, man, I'm looking more forward to that than I was before when I just saw the awesome cover, and who knows what else we can get. Yeah.
I want to say one thing about him. If you have a favorite giant robot, you name him. Look up Hector Trenick. He has a website. He has a Society 6 store. He very may well have a super nice print of your favorite giant robot, because he's got a lot on there, and they're all great.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep.
Mike, you got another one?
I don't. Stay tuned when I get my Mr. Fix-It action figure out. Show it on the show. That's all I got.
Pat?
That's it.
Karen's got another one. Kevin, I can write legibly. We have proof now. That's true. Definite evidence to back you up anytime you want to complain about my poor writing. 2 things. So one, Pat's gorgeous little mopey cats will not always bring it home in the pick 3. So don't assume just because there's one in there, it's going to win. And then lastly, one Mando's better than no Mando's. So keep those one shots in there, Pat. I'm all for it. So, all right. So that'll do it for the recap. Wait, maybe not, Karen. Yeah, Karen's got another one. Nice job, Karen. Just because you see ninjas on the cover does not mean you'll get ninjas.
Yeah. That
is so crazy. Oh, and shout out to Tyler. He noted on the Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man Venom cover that even though you see Venom with a lot of chain action on the cover, you will get 0 Venom chain action in the newest Venom series books. So, right, Mike?
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I know he did say that, but I haven't been reading Venom, so yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Did I nail what he said? Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
And then, well, actually, I'm going to say this one last thing. David _the_movie_nerd. You got an extra week, but if you're David or if you know David's got some cool stuff just waiting for him. But you know what they say about every time you tweak something or you make a different rule with something or you change something, there's always somebody that made it happen. So David, if we don't get him in the next week, is going to be the inevitable change to the Scruffles Goals giveaway that we'll be doing next time. So, so stay tuned for that next week. All right. So you guys have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. And actually, I'm going to double down on that comment again by saying this. I was thinking about this earlier, if people would comment on this show or any previous show they want as to what they'd like to see reviewed, whether it be movie, TV show, comic book, toy, or, you know, what they are interested, what you're interested in seeing us do with all the segments we do. That'd be a great comment to add in on that, you know, or, you know, we'd love to see it on the videos. If you want to email us, whatever, too. We'd love to have some more fan participation in exactly how we do things in here, you know, so.
Yeah, I'll add on to that briefly, Kevin, is that, you know, a lot of times I skip over like He-Man, Transformers, Power Rangers, just because I'm not interested, but I'll surely put that stuff on if people are asking for it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not up my alley, but yeah.
That's the biggest thing I do on the Whatnot Show. I'm always asking people, because that's what I try to do on the Whatnot Show, is just get a random plethora of all kinds of different titles and characters. But I'm always asking people, let me know what you want, and we'll make it happen. So,
yep.
So please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcasting providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted later today or tomorrow. Follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And this is another special week. I think I promised this last week. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app Monday through Friday, 8:30 this week. I have Monday and Tuesdays scheduled already, so you can go and bookmark those right now. Monday is going to be what we have coined our warehouse sale. We are going to be listing a bunch or showing a bunch of stuff that we have listed elsewhere at discounted prices for auctions this Monday. So check that out. But then Tuesday, we'll get back to the 1 to 3 books to $3 auction start for that show. Wednesday through Friday is undecided at this point right now, but you can, like I said, you can bookmark Monday and Tuesday now. Check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and on our website at xcellarcomics.com. That'll just be checking out the cool stuff, recaps of the show, pictures that you may not have been able to check out for whatever reason, or you like to see stills on the website. We don't have anything selling there yet, but we're going to get there. Mm-hmm. And then watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Sunday at 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do our best to be more timely. Like Mike said, we were totally good to go for a good time this morning, but then technical difficulties had different plans. So sorry about it. But it's still a great show, though. So
yeah,
good job to both of y'all.
Thanks.
Mike, were you getting ready to say something else?
No, I'm just thinking about all the packing that I'm going to have to do this week with that many shows.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, the other day, that stack was like this.
That's huge. We had a great, Thursday show. Yeah, it was a great Thursday show. So Wednesday, not so much, but Thursday was awesome. So,
yep.
All right. Anything else, fellas?
That's it.
Anything else, Karen? Anything else, audience? All right, nothing. Okay, cool. Don't forget, until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.